name's Brian. I'm 48 years old. I was previously employed as a project engineer at Nepean Conveyors. I had a car accident on the way home from work on Picton Road back in 2012. Initially they just thought I had severe whiplash injuries and bruising. It took 18 months or more for them to realise that there was a neurological problem, and then another year or so after that before they realised that I developed the secondary or the acquired dystonia as a result of the spinal cord injury. Dystonia causes a number of things, including involuntary muscle spasms. At times it causes events that are called dystonic storms, which are kind of like a non-epileptic seizure. It causes my feet to curl, my hands to curl, legs to go rigid. Probably at times I'll probably seem like a dementia patient or somebody with Alzheimer's. I have shocking memory. I do know it was miserable for the whole family. I can imagine it must have been heartbreaking for them, having to sit by and not feel they could help me. I know I was horrendously depressed, unhappy, at times suicidal. Kelly was in at the gym one morning, and in the car on the way home she heard a commercial for your open day. So she phoned me from the car and just said, be ready to leave the house in 15 minutes. No other clues. No idea where we were going, what we were doing. We showed up in there and I had no idea until we arrived and I saw the signs and so forth. I didn't really see anything there that interested me. I was once upon a time a very keen cyclist. It gave you a light bulb moment. You said, we have hand cycling. You gave me the details for a come and try day, which I attended. I recall having tears running down my cheeks. The instant feeling of freedom that I no longer felt. Being confined to a house and to a wheelchair and so forth was certainly the opposite of freedom to me, but those laps on the hand cycle at the velodrome, just incredible feeling of freedom. Yeah, so that was an instant hit. One day from the basketball team, one of the coaches came across me in Bunnings. He just caught me at the right place at the right time, in the right mood, and talked me into coming along and having a look at the wheelchair basketball. They talked me into getting in a chair. The sports chairs are so much quicker, so much more manoeuvrable. That was just a whole bunch of fun. Just immediately it was like, wow, this is freedom too. It's like being able to run around again. But it planted some kind of seed, because a month later I thought, no, I'm going to go have another go. We just set a timer and we limited the amount of time I spent on court so that I didn't wear myself down too much mentally. I loved it. I've gone back every week since. It's been brilliant mental stimulus for me, to the point where just this past weekend I went and played in the Country Cup with our development team. And we had a fantastic weekend.
And what's life been like for you since you've been involved?
I'm happy. I'm happy. Crowds aren't so daunting. I'm more sociable, I'm more confident. Actually, it's hectic. I'm so busy. I was riding my hand cycle 4 days a week, with playing basketball 2 nights a week and sneaking over for the occasional practice session on my own. I've had to reduce the hand cycling back to 3 days a week. I was just hooked on both, and I was just doing way too much. So I'm having a ball. I'm loving life at the moment. They've given me life back, quality of life really. It's almost like going to a weekly support group even. You no longer feel isolated. You get out there on court with the other basketball players, and we're all in wheelchairs. It doesn't matter whether you're able-bodied or not. You're all doing the same thing, so you're not limited, you're not judged, you don't feel judged. So it's like I'm back out in the community, I'm back out in the world, I'm part of life again and loving it. I certainly wouldn't have predicted being capable of going away for a weekend and playing basketball all weekend and socialising and enjoying it. The future's impossible to predict. I've come so far since I've become involved in wheelchair sports that I don't know how much further I can go. It's almost like the sky's the limit, it feels at the moment.